This amazing Shockwave sword comes with 4 unique abilities. Whenever you crouch, you summon a small shockwave doing damage and applying some knockback. Definitely is no joke. Attacks made with this weapon draw your target towards you instead of knocking it back, and your critical hits even teleport you behind your target, leaving it blind to your position. If you jump while crouching, you dash forward a bit, and yes, this stacks with the previous Shockwave ability. First, we need to build a detection for being in the air for the crit and dash abilities. This will save us a lot of work later. Thus, these 2 command blocks apply the tag air to each player holding a diamond sword when they are in the air or simply grass. Then in the end, this command block removes the tag as soon as the player hits the ground again, implying they are no longer in the air. So next, we're gonna implement dashing. This first command block of the chain simply tests if the player is holding a diamond sword, and then tests if they have the tag air while not having the tag dash, which will play a role soon enough. It also tests if the player is crouching, and in case all of these requirements are met, teleports them slightly into the direction they're heading. Note that the Y coordinates are altered, which is why they are adjusted in the TP command accordingly. One does the exact same, it simply increases the amount of blocks moved unless the player hits the wall after the command was executed the first time, basically. Then a sound is played with a pitch that's slightly altered. Yeah, that's it. After that, the particle is displayed at your position, but this doesn't really matter unless you're not in first person mode. Lastly, you're given the tag dash, which I talked about earlier already, and this tag simply prevents you from dashing in, unlimited amount of times. Still, we need a way to remove the tag dash again, and that's pretty easily done. So this just tests if you don't have the tag air, and if you don't have it, then you don't have the tag dash any longer. And you also get jump boost. I forgot to mention that in the beginning, but yeah, you also get jump boost. Next, we'll need to take care of attacking normally. The command tests if you're holding a diamond sword with a delta value of 1, which implies the usage of the sword. If that is the case, your target is teleported right in front of you, just to sum it up real quick. Next, you're simply given back a perfectly undamaged diamond sword, so you can keep hitting stuff. Now we're doing the critical hit ability, and I know it looks like much, because it is, but to be fair, the command isn't quite optimal, so if you find a better way, let me know in the comments. That command pretty much just teleports you behind the target if you crit, as this only works in players with the tag air. Other than that, the mechanic behind it pretty much works the same as the mechanic behind the normal hitting, which only targets players without the air tag. This again just simply plays a sound, and that's it. If you want, you can change the pitch even further, but I think this fits mostly. And I told you it's working similarly. At the end, again, you're just giving your diamond sword back. We've arrived at the crouch and thus shockwave section. The first part of this chain is triggered whenever you crouch while holding a diamond sword, and unless there's an armor stand called Shockwave nearby, which restricts spamming and crashing the game possibly. Said armor stand is summoned at your position upon activation. You'll also have to implement a little scoreboard, which you first have to create. So that scoreboard is called time, and it can be implemented by, created by typing this command. Each Shockwave armor stand gets added 1 time each tick. So that's 20 times a second. Hence, the Shockwave armor stand will be deleted after 1 second has passed, because it required 20 time. These 3 command blocks all have the same input that causes each armor stand called Shockwave to spin. But why 3, you might wonder? Would 1 be enough? Kind of, but then it would spin slower and less smoothly, which we don't want, obviously. We've again got 4 really repetitive commands with slightly changed coordinates. Those summon the armor stands that will resemble the actual Shockwave later on. Also, just trust me on that number, but if you want to add more, go ahead. It's just, if you do less, then it probably won't really work like a Shockwave, so be warned. Since I'm quite sure you don't want to see the armor stand that causes the Shockwaves to be created, it needs invisibility, which is what this command is for. Oh yeah, and the Shockwave also creates a small little sound, which does small sound like an earthquake, but yeah, it's still kinda suitable, I guess. Now you'll have to make the projectile armor stands, the Shockwave projectile armor stands move, and that's what this command block is for. Just to show you, you can also change the speed of it by, increasing the negativity of these coordinates, or simply copying the command a few times. Yeah, that's it. This just displays the particle I used. Feel free to go ahead and change this particle to whatever particle you want, and experiment a bit with it. Now the projectiles of the Shockwave still need to apply damage, which this command block does. So you can change the 3 to any amount of damage you want. So if you want to, I don't know, be stronger, then change it to like 5 or 10. If you want it to be weaker, then change it to like 1 or 2. Alright. The two following commands simply make sure to kill the armor slings in time, so they don't keep flying around everywhere. So yeah, if we want to increase the lifetime, simply change the time requirement from 30 or more to, I don't know, 60 or more to make them fly twice as far and fast. Finally, these also need invisibility. This sword was quite cool already, but do you know what else is cool? The blaze sword I made, which literally turned out to be completely overpowered. I'm gonna spoil that much. Also, if you enjoyed watching, do me a favor by subscribing to this channel and liking the video.